Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. Today is the 22nd of April 2023, and this is quite a time-sensitive video. So I'm going to put it out across all of my social media channels, and those who are meant to find it and undoubtedly will. I'm going to keep it as short and concise as I possibly can. And also, just to say apologies if you can hear noises in the background. It's a busy family home today, and if I don't record it now, it's not going to get done. But I am being asked by Spirit to release this video, and the most important thing about it is a counter energy to what is going to be occurring in the UK tomorrow on the 23rd. So I'm going to be, in a nutshell, telling you about what's going to be happening with this emergency alert that's going to be going out on all phones across the UK tomorrow on the 23rd at 3 p.m. and what I'm being told by Spirit we need to do to help counteract the energy of it. So before we get to any of that, let's just fill you in with what it is. And I am aware that these emergency alerts that go out on phones happen in other places around the world. Have been for some time, sometimes appropriately so if you're living in a country where, I don't know, you're prone to typhoon or tsunami or earthquake, for example. But here in the UK we have a very, very temperate climate. We don't really experience any of that. Do get flooding from time to time, but not with enormous loss of life or anything like that. So it feels a bit strange that this emergency alert system is being tested. And in particular, I want to look at the numerology of tomorrow, the 23rd, when it's being rolled out. But as I say, I'm aware it happens in other places around the world, sometimes appropriate, sometimes you might still feel that it's fear-mongering, or it could be genuinely that it is helping to save lives in other countries with different set of circumstances and incremental conditions. Also to say that I'm aware that in some countries this is rolled out if a child goes missing or something like that. None of that is relevant to the discussion here in this particular video linked into the UK's emergency alert, which is going to, as I say, be tested tomorrow. None of that is in the bag, basically, in terms of why they are saying they are doing it. So why are they doing it? Why are they spending this money, particularly in a time in the UK where there are systems collapsing, basically, particularly the National Health Service, which desperately needs money. Now, I don't know how much, for example, this system is costing to implement, but there will be probably a substantial sum, I'm sure, linked to it. But anyway, I'm just going to read out a very, very brief summary of why they are saying they are doing it. We will also look at how you can switch off the alerts if you want to on your phone. All of this information is quite readily accessible as well via Google. So if I don't cover something that you need, do just check it out yourself. As I say, the main intention of this video is to, in an ironic way, sound a different type of alarm, which is to counteract it with a different sound vibration, whether that be the vibration of any of the healing Hertz frequencies, 528 for example, or just the simple energy of humming Om or chanting Om, or any other chant that has a loving vibration to it to help raise the frequency and the vibration when this alert goes out, because make no mistake about it, I feel there's an underlying energy of trying to create fear. But I do want to pull some cards on it, and I have not pulled cards on this, so I might be completely wrong. We'll see what we get, but the numerology is certainly very telling. But anyway, what is this all about then? So let me just see. So it's going to be sounding at 3 p.m. on the 23rd of April. And the system in the UK is intended to be used in life-threatening situations, including flooding and wildfires. Now again, I live in an area where occasionally you get a fire breaking out, whether it be on heathland. I live near the New Forest, or there was one, for example, on a stretch of beach recently, on the bit above the beach. But none of these produce huge loss of life, although they do devastate, of course, the wildlife maybe, and also the natural habitat. But it still for me begs the question about why the government are investing so much money into it. Anyway, let's get back to what it says. So the system is intended to be used in life-threatening situations, including flooding and wildfires. The message will be received on 4G and 5G mobile phones, along with sound and vibration for up to 10 seconds. Phone users will be prompted to acknowledge the alert by swiping or clicking the message before being able to continue using their device. So you can't continue to use your device until you have actually acknowledged the alert effectively. However, the test on St. George's Day, because this is the thing about tomorrow, the 23rd is St. George's Day, who is the patron saint of England, coincides with major events including the London Marathon, where millions descend on London, and the 2 p.m. kick-off Premier League ties between Bournemouth and West Ham and Newcastle and Tottenham. So there've been concerns raised amongst domestic violence campaigners who said that the test could put people in danger by revealing the location of secret phones that they might have hidden away. But basically, the nutshell is that at 3 o'clock, bang in the middle of a number of events that are happening here, football related, and also the huge event which is the London Marathon, we're going to have these alerts going off. First time it's ever happened in the UK. Now, before I pull any cards on it, in case I forget, I'm just going to tell you what you have to do to switch them off. If, for example, you've got an iPhone like I have. So you basically go to settings, and you then have to go to notifications. And you literally have to scroll right to the bottom of notifications until you get to where it says extreme alerts and severe alerts. And you literally just toggle them off. So mine are off now. That's on an iPhone. For Android, it says search for emergency alerts in settings and switch off again severe alerts and emergency alerts. So, I'm not saying you have to do this. You have free will. You might want the alerts on. You might think that they're a very good idea. That is completely your prerogative. Or you might think it's all a fuss over nothing and nothing to worry about. That is also your prerogative. But I'm just sensing something else underlying all of this. And particularly, it's the date that's particularly getting me. Why does it have to be, or why is it intended to be, launched on St. George's Day? As I say, the patron saint of England. And if you don't know the story of St. George, he was the one who slayed the dragon. Now, the dragon in more medieval, feudal times was often associated as a symbol of the devil. A lower energy. So the fact that St. George is able to slay the dragon, there's a big load of symbolism there about good defeating evil or darkness or lower energy. So it's a day which, I have to say, the English sometimes aren't particularly patriotic in terms of celebrating it. It often goes a little bit unnoticed. Some people might register it. But it is basically a day, if you observe it, where you're, I suppose, invited to be proud of your country, think about it in terms of its strengths, not its weaknesses, its strengths. And there's nothing wrong with being proud of your country as long as it doesn't turn into sort of like a jingoistic energy, which can be very, unappealing. But it's celebrating the strengths, celebrating St. George, and we always remember the dragon energy as well, and that it was defeated. And as I say, in those times, it was a symbol linked into darkness. We know now, of course, that dragons aren't just about that, and we love the dragons, don't we, and the dragon realm. So why the 23rd? Why does it have to be on that day? So I'm going to start off before I pull any cards. Oh yeah, this is my patriotic gonk here. I bought him for the coronation actually, because we've got a street party happening in my road, so I've got to take something to it. And I will be doing a coronation video as well. I might even be making coronation chicken or coronation quiche, which is the recipe that King Charles has, or whether it's Camilla, I don't know who it is. There's a national dish that's basically that you can prepare if you want to, or you don't have to celebrate or just mark the occasion. It's called coronation quiche. I think it's got asparagus in it, something else, can't remember. But anyway, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. If my 98-year-old neighbour over there is going to be out in the street, you know, having a piece of cake on the coronation day, I'm not going to snub her. I'm going to be out there as well. So yeah, he's the gonk that I've bought, and he wanted to come into this video as well. Let's take a look at these numbers, guys. And I'm being drawn to the tarot with it. So it's happening at 3 p.m. on the 23rd of the 4th month in 2023. So we've got a lot of 23 energy. Now I've wanted to say something about this 23 energy for a while, because I've noticed in the community, particularly the spiritual community, maybe the truther community as well, there seems to be a bit of debate about the number 23, and is it some sort of symbol or sign of darkness, or one of the numbers that they sort of use nefariously for whatever agenda. And I mean, that may or may not be true, but you have to also remember that there's no such thing as a good number or a bad number, in the same way that there's no such thing as a good colour or a bad colour, or any of the other natural things that occur in our world. Numbers that have particular spiritual significance, however, can be manipulated. So often what darkness will do is it will take something good and reverse it. So when you see a reversal, that's often that's what they do basically, because the number 23, and I'm going to stick up for it because I was born on the 23rd, so I have 23 all the way through my energy field. I was born on the 23rd. Is a number in terms of numerology, colour numerology I'm talking about, which is linked to coming back to this lifetime to be of spiritual service. It goes way back to the court of King David. It's very, it's got links to ancient biblical times. So usually these are, for example, people, or it has a vibration of wisdom and many lifetimes, many incarnations. And the colour that goes with it is a royal blue, which stands for leadership, it stands for power, it stands for authority. And all of these things aren't negative. It's just that they can be turned into a negative, for example, if you have a manipulative leader, or you have somebody in power that is not working for the greater good of the whole. So you can turn a vibration such as 23 totally on its head and make it into a negative, whereas actually it's a very positive vibration. And it's usually about being of service. So again, a bit like the way they're twisting this energy of George and the Dragon, which is like we defeated the darkness. Also this vibration of 23 is being turned on its head, which is rather than bettering humanity, which is what it's actually about, and being here to be of service to the light, it's turning into something different. Okay, so always remember that with numbers. No such thing as a good number or a bad number, but they do also have symbolism behind them. Anyway, 23rd to the 4th, 2023. If you add all of the digits of that up, it comes to 16. Now, 16 in the tarot, do you know what 16 in the tarot is? 16 in the tarot is the Tower, but the other number I'd like to pick out is 4, the 4th month, 23rd of the 4th month, 2023. 4 in the tarot is the Emperor, and the Emperor stands for everything that makes us feel secure, everything where there should be order, everything where there should be fair authority, fair law, fair justice. It's a society and it's a leader And it's just a system which is based on stability and harmony and fairness and just keeping things, you know, chugging on in a good, harmonious way. But we have this energy with the Tower. So it almost feels as though this particular day, this year, with that 2023 vibration with it, there is a tower moment energy here, a falling away. I don't like the feeling of this at all. And I do note that we've got 3 events tomorrow in the UK. So we have the London Marathon, we have the FA Cup, we have something else. There was another 3. Now I can't remember what on earth it was. But anyway, we'll come back to that. I must just try and keep focused and on track. So we need to wrap protection around, I feel, the country tomorrow. And we also need to put our shields up, is what I'm hearing. Because I feel what they're trying to do is that they're using sound in this alert to lower the frequency. So that, you know, little old Mrs. Jones over there, who isn't maybe at all, who's very trusting, let's put it in that way, very trusting of everything she reads, everything she's told, starts to get an alert going off on her phone, doesn't know what it is, immediately goes into a sort of panic. What's this about? Probably doesn't even realise there's going to be a test. There's lots of people who won't even realise this is about to happen. And we underestimate how fragile the psyche of many countries are at the moment, having gone through various years of trauma, difficulty and challenge, as well as programming and manipulation in many different fields of life. So this just feels like it's something that can tip a few people over the edge. Plus the fact you also have a mental health crisis in this country as well as many other countries around the world. People are fragile, and it can cause panic, fear, paranoia in those that are already teetering. And this is what I'd like to read on, because that's what I'm intuitively feeling is going on here. Because I go back to my first point, which is that it might be different in your country, but where I live, we've never had a tsunami, we've never had an earthquake of any significance. The things that have happened here have been terror related, which have been awful, over and above war, of course. But, you know, I'm talking about natural events, because they're selling this in regards to the fact you need it because, you know, in case of a flood about to appear down your road or whatever. And as I say, the UK does flood, but not, I'm just questioning the money and why now and the timing of it. And with these cards, you know, this worries me. I'm actually just going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to pull the 23rd card from this deck, and let's just see what it is. Okay, I have no idea. So let's just call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 is also the wish. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What is it? It's the Queen of Wands with the moon. The Queen of Wands with the moon. I read that a little bit as the divine feminine energy, the sovereign divine feminine energy. Because I go back to the fact that 23 is a positive vibration. It can just be used. Everything good can be reversed. Everything good can be reversed. There's a manipulation. There's something going on with regards to the divine feminine energy. There's something that we can't see. Okay. Let me pull some, that might become clear in a moment. I'd like just to now go to a different deck. So we've got a full deck to play with. And I'd like to ask, could you please show me the underlying energy? Okay, so the card just flipped out before I even was able to say the words I was about to say. Let's just see what it is. It's the moon again. Because I was about to say, can you show me the underlying energy of this emergency alert, system, this first broadcast? And I don't know if you saw that on camera, but that literally just shot out again. Nearly hit you in the face, didn't it? So we've got the moon twice. Double moon. We're in between eclipses, aren't we? We've just had the second Aries moon, I believe, of this new year. But the moon, we've got 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I'll pull a few more cards in a moment. I just want to go with this double moon energy. Double moon energy. I mean, because the moon is confusion and not being able to see clearly. There's something we can't. We're not being shown what this is actually all about. I don't like the feeling of this at all. So, and this is like, why? Why is it coming in? Why is it coming in? And it's coming in and we're not at present being allowed to see what it is, or it's being deliberately obscured, more to the point. I'm also hearing people are sleepwalking. People are sleepwalking. My husband did it this morning because I was going to do this video and I was saying my piece in terms of what I felt, and I said to him, okay, so give me your opinion. What do you think about it? And he straight away said, well, it doesn't bother me. It's nothing to worry about. I'm not going to worry about it. But in quite a defensive way. Sorry, John, but it was. He's out of the house now, so I can say that. And that's the sort of energy I'm picking up here. It's almost like sleepwalking into something. Oh, it doesn't really matter. But I think it does, because can we go back to the premise that sound is a vibration? Colour is a vibration. Crystals are a vibration. Our words are a vibration. You can use words to harm and hurt, or you can use words to bring reconciliation and peace and love. Exactly the same with a sound. If you've got a siren that is jarring, that is bringing in an energy of fear, that's exactly what it's doing. And fear is one of the most corrosive energies in our universe. It is the polar opposite energy to love. But it's being presented as though we're doing this for your own good. In my country, okay? Remember, it might not be the same for you in your country, although I suspect there are some similarities and parallels going on. Here, it's not needed at the moment. I've lived 56 years of my life without having an alert going off from the government telling me I'm unsafe. And I said to my daughter today, I said, say something was to happen, because the underlying energy with it is people go to worst case scenario. The government is telling me I'm not safe, I need to get the hell out of here. It's like you immediately go to an extreme, which is, for example, nuclear attack. Have you seen those films, those disaster films where, some sort of alert happens, or not even alert, something happens. Everyone basically ends up on the motorway, jammed, rigid on the motorway, unable to move, not going anywhere. Imagine if those were your last moments on earth and you're actually just on the M3, got Chris Rea's great song, Road to Hell, and you're just surrounded by irate, angry people beeping their horns, and probably having fisticuffs in the road because they're so, traumatized or whatever. Is that the way, if worst case scenario were to ever happen, which is not what I'm saying is about to happen, is that how you'd want to spend your final moments? Not me, no. So, no, there's something else going on with this. Double moon energy. Double moon energy. Now, let's just have a look at what the moon's doing, because we've just had a new moon on the 20th. So this is 3 days later. You see, you've got the number 3 again. This 3 energy, things come in threes, is what I'm hearing as well. Things come in threes. 3 events, 3 things to play out. I don't know. Okay, let me just carry on a little bit and see what else I can get. By the way, the other card that came out with the double moon, or was on the bottom of the pack, was the 7 of Wands, which is an energy of defensiveness. Look at that, I'm barricading myself in. I'm barricading myself in. Is there actually an energy here where these alerts could go off again related to some other form of lockdown? And I do wonder that, because look, she's trapped. It's like I'm behind my own defences. I'm behind my own picket fence. I'm in my home. She's in her home. Is there some sort of long-term plan for that? Again, we've got the Emperor again on the bottom of the deck next to the Seven of Wands. This is something that is supposed to be, I'm going to call it for what I'm feeling it to be. It feels like an assault on stability. And in my last eclipse video that I did up on YouTube, I talked about I was feeling this Taurian energy coming in. Now, of course, we're into Taurus season now, but I said that before it had even begun. I was saying I was feeling the need for this, the Taurian stability and the roots and the groundedness. And here we've got double Emperor, double stability with double moon. Okay, something we can't see. Now, yes, because this is particularly focused on the UK, this could very much be linked in also to King Charles. I will do another reading on the coronation. I plan to do that with my trusty friend very soon. And, I'm on record of saying that I think he will have a short reign. And I've always seen that it's William that basically is the one that, certainly in my lifetime and my children's lifetime, that's the king that goes on for decades, because I do see William becoming king, and he'll be a good king, is my opinion. You can disagree, but I believe he'll be a good king. And no, I don't believe he's the Antichrist, okay? So I believe he's a good king. But it's as though we've got two kings here. So there's something here about that. But I'm going to keep focused, because otherwise I'm going to go off into a totally different territory. But I'm just acknowledging that that is also there with regards to this Tower card. That, you see, to me, if something were to happen and Charles has a short reign, it wouldn't be a surprise, because I've intuitively been picking that up for years, as have many readers. But to other people, it would be a shock. It would be a shock to Mrs. Jones down the road, who just assumes that he's going to be on the throne for years. But maybe not to those of us that are intuitive. Anyway, over and above that, let's now keep pulling cards linking back to the emergency alerts on the 23rd. So we've got a double moon energy. Can you please clarify, Spirit, what is behind the alerts? Show the energy that's behind the alerts. We've got the energy of the Fool. What goes with the Fool? The Nine of Cups. Those two are better cards. Show me the energy of what's behind the alerts, please. The Fool and the Nine of Cups. Third card to make our number 3. The Hermit. Oh. No, I don't like these cards. I'll tell you why. I thought I did, and now I don't. Now I've pulled that Hermit. I was thinking, maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe I've got it wrong. Fool and the Nine of Cups. That's all quite nice. Fresh new start. What do we want from this fresh new start? Are we being programmed to want to just stay in? Just to stay in, to become the hermit, going within. I mean, yes, you could say that's about people. There's two ways to read this. The positive is that however you view the alert going off, it might be a chance for you to go inward and to question and to reflect and to think about, well, do I actually feel safe or not? And if I don't, what can I do about it to correct the balance? What tools do I need to help me to feel safe in an unsafe world or an unstable world or a chaotic world? Because we will all agree that it's a chaotic world. But there's another energy here, which is it's like a drip effect in terms of I feel frightened I feel frightened, I feel uncertain in this world, I have a social anxiety maybe already, I'm already depressed, I'm already this, I'm already that, and now I've got alerts going off from the government saying something terrible might be about to happen. Okay, people go to worst case scenario. They never go to the more middle ground option. And so what it does is it creates a blank page, but the blank page is like, you might be safer just staying closer to home. And we know that there is proposals, and it's already happening in some towns in the UK, although I think people are fighting back for these 15-minute, 20-minute cities. That actually, no, you know, you'd be much better staying just in your local neighbourhood. You don't really want to go off to Switzerland, do you? Or you don't really want to go to France, or you don't really want to go to the other side of the country and do that, do you? We will provide everything that you want within this very small little locality. And you're allowed out of that locality 3 times a year, 5 times a year, whatever it is, whatever the plan is. And over and above that, you're fined if you do so. And if you're thinking, my God, Amanda, you sound like a total conspiracy nut, this is actually happening. Just Google safe cities or whatever it's called, 15-minute cities. It's already happening in the UK. They're trialling it. I do note that my town have come out and said we're not going to be trialling it, but I don't trust it. It's like, okay, you're saying that for now, but you know, people, this is what I've got message on. It's like people are sleepwalking. It's this thing about the government's going to keep you safe. Was it Ronald Reagan who said, what was Ronald Reagan's really good expression about the government and keeping you safe? Let me just Google it. Ronald Reagan. I know you're all probably telling me now over the screen. Quote about government safety. Probably won't come up now. Oh yeah. Yeah, Ronald Reagan. This is what he said, the top 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That says it all. Did he actually use the word English as well? English language. The top 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Because this is being sold. These alerts are being sold of, like, this is going to be a great help for you. This is going to be a great help. This is what you need. Are we not moving into times of sovereignty, my friends, where we can ascertain for ourselves if we are safe or not? Does this also ask us to get more in tune with Mother Nature in terms of how she's feeling? Those of us that are, I don't even know what the word is. It's over and above being an empath. It's being in touch with Mother Earth and being able to feel when there's going to be an earthquake, or, you know, many of us sense that days before it happens. Blinding headaches, upset stomachs, all the rest of it. You know, it's been happening for years. As I said in another video recently, and somebody got terribly triggered, but I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat it because I stand by what I said. Animals too will often sense when something is about to happen because they're closer to the land. We are being removed from the land. We're being put into little pens is what I'm hearing. So yeah, this is all becoming a little bit heavy. So let's try to lighten it with what can we do? What can we do? But before I do that, I am just going to see is there anything else to say. Let's pull a card from the dragon deck that I've got, which is the Carla Morrow deck. And I'm also going to use my own dragon spray. Yeah, St. George and the Dragon. So Violet Dragon. Let's just bring this energy in, which also it acts as a transmuter because it is the Violet Dragon. So let's bring the Violet Dragon's energy in around this whole situation tomorrow on the 23rd. I'm also being told that you, even if you haven't got the spray, you know, just tune into it, okay? You can invoke the Violet Dragon, the energy that's contained within here, and you can actually also put it around your phone, okay? Around your phone, around your technology to transmute as well. So that even if, for example, you forget to turn off the alert or you want the alert to come on, it's going to transmute the vibration that's coming from that alert. So the alert that is actually feeling as though it's fear-based becomes something else. It becomes benign is what Metatron is saying. Benign. Not malignant, it becomes benign. Interesting. Sorry to go off on one here, but Metatron's also saying to me that we know, of course, that mobile phones, you know, there's radiation from mobile phones linked to cancers and things like that. I never ever put my phone up against my ear if I'm on it to anybody. I always do hands-free. People are very blasé about that, but, you know, if you're using these devices day in, day out, like all of us do, you can also invoke the violet dragon energy around the phone to try to make the energy around it benign rather than turning into something malignant. I became very conscious over the last few months that, you know, sometimes you go to bed, don't you, have your phone in bed, rightly or wrongly, and late at night I'll have it like here, you know, because I'm looking at whatever and it's near my chest area. So I'm very conscious now to move it away from that, because you don't want radiation energy going into the breasts or anywhere else. You know, men put it in their pockets, and that's near the prostate and that part of the body as well. So try to keep the phones a little bit away. I have also done a video on 5G technology, because that will probably come up in this video. It's called From 5G to 5D. From 5G to 5D. And in many ways, it's my philosophy for how I tackle life with all sorts of things, which is about it's trying to transmute a negative into a positive, because I believe you can do that with anything that's thrown at you. You know, you can turn something bad into something good. So from 5G to 5D, I'll link the video below so you can see that. But yeah, sorry, so that's what came through when I sprayed that. But anything else for specifically for tomorrow and this alert systems? Let's just bring this dragon in. Well, what I'm seeing, interestingly, is I'm seeing the dragon, but it's like he's very alert. It's like a very alert dragon, and it looks a bit like the Loch Ness Monster for some reason. That type of shape, very long body, very long neck. Quite a small little head, and wings, and a tail is literally just doing this, and it's literally, this dragon just is like that. It's like looking here, looking there. It's like on high alert. So I feel as though we can send it in to particularly the places tomorrow, where it might be needed. So definitely these FA Cup, whatever they are, quarterfinals, whatever they are, and definitely the London Marathon as well. I just keep feeling there's a third event, and I don't know what the third event is tomorrow. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. Maybe it's, I don't know. Don't know. There's a third event. That's what I'm feeling. There's a third event. And for whatever reason, yeah, this dragon is on heightened alert. So it's trying to help. So let's bring it in, okay? It acts a bit like a sort of bodyguard type energy is what I'm feeling. It's like it's on the lookout. It's on the lookout for here, there. It's like the bodyguards. It's like you've got to have eyes in the back of your head, looking here, looking there, looking there. So it's doing that. Let's pull a card from the dragon deck then and see what we get related to the subject of this video, which is the emergency alert system in the UK being tested tomorrow on the 23rd. Anything else that we haven't said or that is important to bring in as an energy? Anything else that the dragon wishes to say? We've got inspiration. But actually, I almost felt like when I was pulling the card, I wanted to change the question. So I'm going to keep the eye for inspiration, but I also want to bring through a message from the actual dragon that St. George slayed. And that sounds a bit random, but St. George's dragon. Can I have a message from St. George's dragon, please? Grounding. Got the grounding message again. Double Emperor. Grounding. Right, this dragon is saying that the ley lines, if we can, this is why this is time sensitive, do some work on the ley lines around the UK. And equally, if you're watching from a different country, please do work on the ley lines around your countries as well, to bring in the highest vibration and the energy of peace. There are two main energies in our world, love and fear. And these emergency alerts are bringing fear in a very fragile world, as I've already said. The psyche is quite broken and it's trying to break it further. So let's flow love down into the energy of the ley lines. This is what the dragons want us to do. So those of you that do that type of work, thank you very much. And it looks like this particular dragon is asking us to work with the energy of blue crystals. Okay, I'm not going to specify what particular crystal, just blue crystals. Okay, and also that might be a green crystal as well. Okay, right. Okay, I was just trying to move on to the good stuff, or the stuff to counteract all this, but I've just picked the deck up, and I have to note that this is on the bottom of the deck, the devil energy, with the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. Yeah, it's exactly what I've been saying. There is a devil energy at play here, giving a message. The Page of Pentacles gives a message, gives an alert, gives a message. This message is good for you. This is keeping you safe. Okay, but it's devil energy behind it, and the message is it's Four of Wands, vision, horizon. We're scanning the horizon for you. We can tell you. We will tell you if something is amiss. Is that? We've got to be our own alert system. Now in this deck, there is a card that I don't think appears in any other deck. Probably it's the reason why I was told to use it today. It's the Dreamkeeper's Tarot by Liz Houston. Now, I'm picking up the name Houston. I know she's called Liz Houston, but Houston. I'm for some reason, my energy's going to Houston, which I believe is a city in the USA. Is something going on there? Have I got any followers that watch me from there? Please let me know. Right, this card is... Oh no, it's the Magician card, but it's not called the Magician. It's called the CREATRIX. Focused flow of creative energy in order to manifest on the physical plane. This is what we're being asked to do. We're being asked to be this, that whatever is thrown at us that is of a lower energy, that is fear-based. I don't believe, by the way, everybody who works trying to implement this alert system is, dark, for want of a better word. It's just that who's at the top, who's behind the agenda is what you have to ask yourself, okay? Because there's good and bad people in everything. So I don't want to taint the whole operation. There might be people working on it that genuinely believe they're doing the right thing and it is for the greater good. But in this particular instance within the UK, right now at this time in England, no, it's a lower energy coming in. It's this devil energy. So we're being asked to be the magician, the CREATRIX, to respond to it. And I'm going to just read this little bit. The CREATRIX, traditionally known as the magician, is a powerful card of creation and manifestation. Illustrated here is a representation of the primordial cosmic energy of the universe, the unified field from which all things are manifest. The downward-facing triangle represents the yoni, the feminine principle. It is the source of life. We had her, didn't we? We had the Queen of Wands. I said that at the beginning. Here she is, the feminine principle, life. It's the source of life, the element of water, and it's also referred to as the chalice. The Holy Grail, the upward-facing triangle represents intense spiritual aspiration, the element of fire, and is the masculine principle, also known as the blade. The presence of both triangles intensify the power of each, and in the space where they meet is the central point of awareness and creation. Okay, so I'm picking up from this. Yeah, it's about creation, action, power, concentration, and conscious awareness. And when it's reversed, it's about sorcery, manipulation, abuse of power, and destruction and incompetence. We're dealing with sorcery, manipulation, abuse of power, destruction, and incompetence. That is what I truly feel is going on here at a deeper level below the surface with that double moon energy. So what we have to do to counteract it is become the creatrix, the magician, remembering that we have all the tools in the table to bring in the golden age of the divine feminine, the new earth energy, and this is just another attempt to try to stop it, to put some, what Metatron's showing me is like little hurdles, you know, in the race to get there to the final line, which is new earth. These are great big hurdles, or great big, use a Grand National analogy with the horses that died last week. You know, it's a great big fence, and it's as though they know that some people can't get over that fence. It's just a tipping point. It's just another thing to now be worried about. There's enough to be worried about in our world. You know, people are too scared to go out of their front doors. So yeah, we're going to cope. We're going to counter this. That's the purpose. That's why I came on today. Let's get to that. It's very simple. Okay, I'm not going to spend a long time telling you what to do. You already know what to do. The people that follow me are very wise, very compassionate. You have lots of spiritual tools that you're already using. But I'm just being given a very, very simple instruction for you today, which is sound related. The alert is going to go off, and it's a sound vibration. So you counteract a sound vibration with another sound vibration, which is of a higher frequency. So you can choose any of them. You know, you could even blast out a beautiful piece of Mozart or a beautiful piece of classical music tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That would be a very good thing to do. Or you could just silently chant Om, which is the sound of the universe, the hum of creation. Okay, Om. Or if you're using things such as tuning forks, I've got some here. You could use tuning forks. You could also use Tibetan bells. If you're somebody that uses drums, you could drum, but it's the intention with which you create the music and you create the sound. You're banging the drum, connecting into Mother Earth, telling her that everything is, that we are safe. Thank her for the fact that we are safe. Grounding with her, tuning into her, sending love into her, and she will send love back to you. So remember, it's the intention more than anything else, whatever it is that you're choosing to do. So I'm just trying to find my tuning forks. So yeah, I've got a few here. There isn't one answer, whether it's chanting, umming, using music, playing music, but make sure what you're playing is of a very high vibration, because that's how we counteract it. And that's how, you've just got to know how to play the game. It's as simple as that. You play the game. We're playing the game. And yeah, look, again, another card from the top of the deck, another card talking about creation, also focusing on the energy of the flower of life. You know, if they're trying to create more fear, what we're going to do is we're going to be amplifying and sending out an energy of peace tomorrow. Okay. You can also switch off the alerts, but more than anything, it's your intention, your presence, your energy tomorrow that matters. Okay, let's pull a final card for England. Going forward, England. The Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of, believe it or not, the Ace of Pentacles, there's a lot of positive energy to come out of England going forward, and it's being thwarted. England's a bit of a powerhouse, it always has been, and there are attacks upon it, and they'll not win, basically. This is an ancient land. It's an ancient land, and tune into the energy of St. George tomorrow as well. Feels as though he will be around helping with all of this. We're going to be given a helping hand. Okay, I must leave it there, guys, because as I say, this was a quick fire video that just had to be done, and I need to get it up as well. So please share it if you found it helpful. The video that I promised you that I would be doing next, I know it keeps changing, but it's just, this is the nature of working with spirit. You've just got to go with what they ask you to do on any one particular day. I am doing a video with Prince. I got a download, a huge download yesterday from Prince, the musician Prince I'm talking about, whose anniversary of death was yesterday. And I tried yesterday to sit down and do the channeling. I've got about 24 minutes recorded, but I think I'm wanting to change it a little bit. There's nothing wrong with what came through, but Prince is a bit of a maverick. He was a great example of somebody who was completely in their creative power. And he wants to do it in a different way with me. And I want to do it in a different way with him. It's as though trying to bring it through just as a straight channeling with like, this is Prince and he's saying this, I was finding it very constricting, because I also feel that I have wisdom to share as well. That's why I've got a channel. That's why people come to me. And it's as though I felt there was a recognition from him as well that actually also you need to weave your stuff in. So how it's going to be is I'm going to present it more as a teaching video with me and Prince. Okay, and in that way I can bring him in when he's got something to say. I can say what I also feel is true with my own intuition and higher self. And remember, I'm a 23 energy, so that's what I came here to do, and I came here to be, to share what I've learnt over many lifetimes. So it's going to be more like a conversation and a teaching that both of us wish to present. And when he came to me yesterday, it literally was like he was giving me, he was just giving me a summary of what it is that I needed to talk about with regards to the subject of gender and transgender. And he's going to chip in, you know, he's going to have his say as well. But I need to present it in a way that I feel is going to be the most easy to understand for everybody. So it's not going to be a normal Heart Squad channeling. It's going to be more of a co-creation between me and him. And we're gonna reinvent channeling, is what he's saying to me. Not reinvent channeling, but more just like what people expect from channeling. Okay, yeah. So anyway, that's coming, but I need a day clear to do that. I've got all the stuff set up to do that, and yeah, I'm going to do the coronation. And yes, I have not forgotten. I've promised a twin flame video that will be coming as well. But this had to happen first. Anyway, I hope you have a good weekend wherever you are around the world. I'm certainly going to have a nice weekend. And at 3 o'clock tomorrow, I will be doing something positive. That is the main thing. I'll be doing something positive, and I'll be keeping the vibration as high as I possibly can. I encourage you to do the same. Do not go into fear. Go into your heart. Go into love. It's always the answer. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye.